All right. The name is DelMan, aka Four Eyes, the Ugly Professor, doing the review for the new Roc Marciano and DJ Premier EP, and it's called The Coldest Profession. This EP review is done on behalf of Old Heads Network. All right, I have to admit I'm not a huge fan of Roc Marciano, but I respect him and I dig some of his music, and I've heard some of his past music. Like, I think this is his very first studio album, which was called Mossberg, which dropped in 2010. Reloaded 2012. Rosebud's Revenge that dropped in 2007. Marcialago, which dropped in 2019. Then you got Greenberg, the EP. That's a joint he did with The Alchemist and Oh No that dropped in 2011. And I have The Elephant Man's Bones, which he did with The Alchemist, that dropped in 2022. So Roc Marciano has 9 studio albums and 4 collabo albums. You know, the collabo albums is him and one producer doing all the tracks. And some people have called Roc Marciano like the father or godfather of rapping over drumless beats. They give him a lot of credit for making that a thing. Some have said he was doing what Griselda is doing before Griselda. That's what some people say. That's not what I'm saying, but he's been credited for making that style in vogue, you know, rapping over the drumless beats and that type of thing. And I was going into this project before I actually listened to it and copped it, thinking, would Premier go into Roc Marciano's world, or would Roc Marciano just ride what Premier traditionally does with drums and his production? And drums, please, we have drums. There are drums on each track, which I really appreciate and dig. And I like all 7 songs of this 8-track EP. The first track is called Arrival. It's basically an intro. It's just Premier talking, so it's not an actual song. So I like everything on here pretty much, to say the least. And Roc Marciano rap style is, you know, talking shit, you know, street rap, lavish, braggadocious shit. You know, a little coke rap sprinkle here and there. You know, that he coming from that type of cloth. And I'm just going to talk about a few of the standout songs on this EP. I'm not going to talk about all the songs in depth like that. Like I said, I like everything. But and I would like to say that it scratches on each song, which I really appreciate. I'm a big fan of cuts and scratches on hip hop songs. I miss that element in hip hop nowadays. I liked it. It brings me back to back in the days when that was a heavy part of hip hop. So you have cuts and scratches on every track, which I was a little surprised. I knew Premier was going to do that, but not on every song. I thought Roc Marciano would give you like a hook, him saying a hook on a few songs here and there, but every track has cuts and scratches on it. So some of the standout joints is called, one of the joints is called the Amani section, should I say. Sorry for that. The beat is nasty. Love the cuts and scratches. And it's a nasty song. Really dig it. And then you got another song called Good to Go, which is my shit. One of my favorite songs on this EP. Dig the use of the EPMD line that Premier scratches on the hook. One flow, good to go. After the show, I'll pull your hoe, boy. I like how he uses that shit. That shit is tight. Very catchy. Then you got another song called Glory Hole, which is like a chick. For the chicks is a sex song, but hip hop style. It's not commercial. The beat is simple but nice. The production has a bop to it. I'm really feeling this song. I think they should do a video for this joint. Dig it. Then you got another song called Travel Fox. The production is nasty. Ugly face music. Premier's in his bag with this joint. I dig it. So like I said, it's an EP. but it has 8 tracks total, and then he has like 7 songs total. So it feels more like an album, just a short album. It's a little under 20 minutes, so it's a short listen. It's like 19 minutes and some change. So even though it's labeled as an EP, it doesn't feel like an EP. It just feels like a short album. I'm not a fan of EPs, especially when they like 4 to 6 songs. Not a fan of that, but this type of EP I can get down with. So I'm gonna give this joint a B+. I dig it, is worth copping. Like, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'm out.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.